Hi traders, today I've got a really insightful interview for you today. We talk to No Nonsense Forex, or VP as some of you may know him as. He has been a professional trader since 2014, has been trading with a prop firm and gives us some really good insights into the psychology around trading and how to level up your mindset if you're going to be successful in this. So stay tuned, enjoy this video, and I'll catch you at the end.
I wonder if I could pick your brain for a moment then, because you said that you've worked with this a prop firm for a while, and we know that there are, I suppose, an abundance of this sort of, or explosion of prop firms recently with the likes of FTMO and things like that. Do you think they've created a culture of traders that want to trade lower time frames, and because they've got these sort of time constraints, I guess, I don't know whether they're still around, I haven't looked into any for a while, but when they first started to come in, they were like, okay, you've got 10 days to make 10%, you know, and or whatever it was. Do you think that's created a bit of a culture where people don't go to sort of like the higher time frames?
I think the culture was already there, and I think it just fit into that. Now, I don't know the overall landscape of the prop firm market right now because I'm really happy with the one I have. It's the only one I endorse. It's Maverick Trading out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
Okay.
It is on the more expensive end to start, but it's full service, and they do everything they can to make sure you stay there and kind of foster you along, which I don't think these lesser expensive ones do. Like I said, I can't really speak to them, but the one thing I always tell people is, if you have a system that works, you have to make sure your firm allows you to trade that way. And if they don't, well, good news is, unlike back in 2014 when there was only a few, there's a lot of them now. There's a lot of very low cost ones. And so you're not stuck with one. You can move to the one that allows you to trade the way you want, because the way you want has gotten you to this point, right? You know, I would assume you're going to be reasonably successful before you join a prop firm. And so if they're putting all these crazy restrictions on you, then your win total and your overall success is going to go down. I couldn't imagine joining someplace that restricted the way I traded. But people are so hell bent on becoming a prop firm trader that they do it anyway. And what I tell them is like, look, there are other options. If one is not allowing you, find another one. They do exist. I'm sure there's a database out there somewhere. But again, I've been so satisfied with the one I've had and the one I've endorsed. I've just never really dove into that landscape of all these other commercial ones.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Would you say when you got into sort of the prop firm, well, is there any advice, would you say, that you could give to somebody who's looking to get into a prop firm? Is there any kind of, is there a time of how long they should be trading for before they even consider one of these things? I don't know whether a lot of people talk about prop firms so openly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are going to require you to show them results. I think any good prop firm should do that. I would be very aware of a prop firm that just took anybody. I can understand wanting to mold and train people, but I mean, with the fail rate what it is, I mean, I'm going to want to take upper echelon people to start with. And so you're probably already going to have to show them at least a year's worth of positive results.
Right.
And if you can do that with real money, you know, some people don't have real money to spend. I'm like, well, you're going to have to put some in there because you're going to have to get used to what it's like trading real money. Because if you go from demo to somebody else's money at a firm, emotionally, that is going to wreck you. There's already going to be a big psychological jump from what you're doing right now to a prop firm. That's already going to exist. But if you're trading, you know, fake money, and now you're trading real money, trying to wrestle with that too is going to take your success rate way down. And I would imagine you don't want to fail at your very first prop firm. Even though if you do, it's not the end of the world, because I said there's other ones out there. But you know, you worked this hard to get this far. Make that transition as smooth as possible. I would say make sure you're trading real money for at least a year, if not more, and at a successful level to where you pretty much have your system down to where you can do it with your eyes closed. I would say at that point, then look to go pro. I think most people do it too early. I certainly did. I almost got kicked out. I got saved by the skin of my teeth and worked myself back up. But looking back on it, I could have I could have spent more time in the pits before getting to the big leagues myself. But again, everybody, it goes back to what we were saying, Jonathan. Everybody wants success in this business. They want to be a pro.
Yeah.
And if they have that opportunity, they're going to take it. And then, they're probably going to take it too early.
Yeah. What would you say is a good sort of, I guess, monetary value to be taken seriously then, if you were going to go to a prop firm? I guess, does it matter if it's $100? Does it matter if it's, $5,000? Is there, I'm just kind of thinking off the top of my head, if I was to go with like $100 account and say, oh yeah, I've done X amount of percent over a year, they might go, you've done it with $100, but you haven't really done it with, I don't know, a higher amount.
Yeah, the amount has to mean something to you. But I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I have traders in Sierra Leone to where $100 would be an extraordinary amount to them.
Yeah.
And then I've also known drug dealers to where, if it's not six figures, then they don't care. So it's like, it just depends on where you're on that spectrum, but it has to be a meaningful amount, because that's a good point. Yeah. If you're living in the West and have a regular job, a $100 account's not going to do anything for you. It's the same as trading demo. So just make it something that does mean something to you. I'm sure you know what that number is, but there's not an actual hard figure I can pull out of the air, because like I said, everybody is so different.
Yeah. Just want to circle back to sort of trading someone else's money then. How different are your emotions involved with something like that? Because I guess you're not just thinking about yourself, you're thinking about how that trade is going to impact that money to somebody else, I guess.
Well, a brand new emotion enters the equation, and that little something called paranoia, because you're wondering, you're like, oh man, these people are looking at me. What are they thinking of me? Am I being reckless? I just took a losing streak. What do they think about that? I'm getting really close to my loss limit. It's like, truth is, like, at least at my firm, there's hundreds of people who work there. They don't really care.
Yeah.
But that's going through your head too. So you're like, okay, if you can hear those sirens, they're on my end. So anybody listening to this, just know it's not on your end. Where was I? Yeah. So that's going to introduce a whole new way of screwing up, because now you're like, all right, these people look at me like I'm an idiot. I need to take a break, or which I've never thought is a good idea. Or I need to really, go big on this next trade. All these things that you weren't doing before the prop firm, you're doing now, and it's never good. Maybe you might get lucky once or twice, but again, it's just like a firm that restricts the way you trade. You need to do things the exact same way you were doing them before you got there. But it's hard because it's a different arena now. But that doesn't mean the rules change. You still need to do things the same way.
Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, leave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to see some more of our Forex trading content. And I'll speak to you in the next video.